Okay, thanks for joining. I think as we wait for others to join, we can just start. So if you have any update from Airframe team, please let me know.
Oh, okay. I was just off the phone with Jeremiah.
Mm-hmm,
He told me he was continuing with the printing of the nose cone
mm-hmm,
and the shoulders for the upper part.
mm-hmm,
So that has been ongoing. The rivets, he told me they are yet to find one, so I'm not sure about how we'll go about that.
mm-hmm,
And then what else? With regarding to the parachute, I think we have not yet, but it's only one, so I think it's just a matter of taking it there.
mm-hmm,
The only thing that was on my JD for this week was I was supposed to help Bob make the fiberglass fins,
mm-hmm,
but then there was still a discussion ongoing about the actuators because with the description and the dimensions he has, it's going to be a little bit difficult to fit them in the airframe considering the motor and everything.
mm-hmm,
So right now I've given him the number to call Lindsay, told me we'll discuss with him about the motor section to know about the temperatures
mm-hmm,
of the exterior of the casing so that he can know the material to be using for the actuating rods.
mm-hmm,
And then for the I told him we can put it on hold for this week and then we'll fabricate them next week, this coming week,
mm-hmm,
because we still also had a problem with fitting the motors, but we agreed we can either stack them two each in like two stories, or
mm-hmm,
we can find a way to cleverly put them in just one single line, the four of them.
mm-hmm.
Yes, other than that, I don't think I have any other updates.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. Regarding the fitting the motor, could you elaborate what is the issue?
Okay, so for the actuation, he's using, if I remember correctly, was MG95, was it MG995 motors
Mm-hmm,
for controlling the fins.
mm-hmm,
So they're actually very small, but then fitting them for the four of them in one row
mm-hmm,
is rather difficult. Is rather difficult considering that it still needs the space for the motor and the actuating rod to go down.
mm-hmm,
So we either have to fit two, that is two, and then have like another layer on top to add another two,
mm-hmm,
because the problem was not the size of the motors for actuating the fins,
mm-hmm,
but it was rather because he still needs some space for the actuating rods, and there's a little bit of a rotation for the motors, so there needs to be a certain space. So I told him for now, considering everything, technically we can fit all four on one row, but then we won't have space for the actuating rods.
mm-hmm,
So I told him for now we can make an assumption that we'll have two, and then two on top of the others.
mm-hmm,
But then we agreed that he'll carry some samples of maybe two or three motors, and then we'll come and see how they'll fit into the airframe.
mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. About the rivet, I think I have reminded the supplier, and he was saying, let me check. Oh, mm, he was saying it was supposed to be arrived by Friday last week, meaning 2 weeks, 2 days ago. So, well, okay, let me check it again. Let me.
Okay. So we can halt the search for local supplier now, or we just keep the hunt going on.
Have you checked the local supplier?
Okay. For now, personally, when I was when we were during the internship, we
Mm-hmm,
had searched for local supply and we found that it is difficult because with the length and the diameter we require, that is an eighth inch by an eighth inch, 3 millimeters by 3 millimeters.
mm-hmm,
They are mostly used for aerospace applications,
mm-hmm,
and there are not very many suppliers that can do that locally
mm-hmm,
because there's not much aerospace works going on, and most of it is pretty much planned, and so you can't get that access for someone who will supply for you.
mm-hmm,
But Samil had said he can find one in industrial area, and Jeremiah was the one following up on that. But we checked with him, when was it? I think either Thursday or Friday, and he said he's yet to find one. So, but he sounded confident that he can find one. So I'm not sure, but if he said he can find one, I think maybe he can with time. But if the supplier you had ordered from will bring one, then we can have to wait or keep the search going on, and whichever comes first, then we'll just go with it.
Okay, that's in order. I just now sent a reminder to the supplier, so let's wait for his response, then we shall decide. But hopefully, yeah, we will get it from abroad.
Yes.
All right, and okay, yeah, it is good that 3D printing is going on well. And
Yes.
oh yeah.
Oh, actually, I forgot something. It is about there's a little bit of I think a miscommunication somewhere, because in the last meeting that was held, I had heard that there will be some, is it true, airframes that will have their target apogee brought down to 500 meters. But then I think the message either had not gotten to the solid team, so they were not aware. But they sent me already the downgrade motors, so I should be doing the simulations for the 500 meters apogee, hopefully this week, and then maybe we'll see whatever corrections we'll need to make for the dimensions of the fins for the motors, for the rockets that are supposed to go for 500 meters instead of the targeted 2 kilometers.
Oh, okay. So, well, this is not. So let me clarify. So the propellant we are using kind of two types, and one is to use the aluminum casing, which is indicated here, and the other one is using mild steel pipes. So apogee will be definitely less than 2,000 meters because we are using a heavier casing for these three. But this one is not going to be 500 because we are going to use 4 grains, yeah, as indicated.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so all of them will use 4 grains.
Right. So this is our
Consider-
plan. Yes. And
Okay.
of course, it should be determined by the propulsion teams, because we have not tested the 4 grains with mild steel.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, at the moment we are targeting the slightly less than 2,000 meters.
Okay. Oh, I think I'm the one who I misunderstood something. So now it's all clear.
Okay, so thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, thank you very much, Lawrence. Does anybody have any questions, clarifications to Lawrence or Ephraim? Okay, if there is any comments, we shall proceed. So let me check who is joining. I can see Nefat from Propulsion. So Nefat, do you have any update from Propulsion?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, this week we have been working on one nozzle, and we are close to completing it. So far, we have one functional nozzle, and the one we are working on right now, which will be complete hopefully by midweek. Yeah, we also plan to start cooking grains again from next week. We have observed the ones that we had cooked previously before we took a break on August, and we have found them in somewhat good condition. The container is there. Next week, this week we hope to look for the desiccant chemical, either sodium hydroxide or calcium chloride. I think there's some few members who have an idea of where we can get them from. We also will be doing a load cell procurement 200 kg load cell so that we can begin planning on the static tests as from next week, but one. So far, we have shared with airframe team the simulations using 4 grains. We are hoping they can do simulations on the open rocket and tell us about the weight budget for the mild steel pipe. We have not yet cut the pipes, but we'll be doing that this week, the 3 of them for the mild steel. That's all so far.
Okay, thank you very much, Nefat. So yeah, in terms of the open rocket simulation, so you have given the necessary information to Lawrence or airframe team.
Yes. Collins assured me he had shared with them.
Okay. All right. So I think airframe team is going to be able to calculate because we want to know the apogee or the modified or customized SRM. Okay, so yeah, I think hopefully we will know it in the next meeting. And then,
and
yes,
also
on
the nozzle, so far we have one that is completely functional, and the other one that we're making right now, we still need 3 more. And at the workshop, we found some mild steel material. It won't be enough for the 3, but at least 2. Though we're not sure if it's for Nakuja or it's for the workshop. I don't know how maybe we can go about that.
Excuse me, could you say that again?
At the workshop, we have some mild steel pipe block material.
Okay.
That we can use to make more nozzles. We need 3 more so that we can get to the target 5 rockets. But we're not sure whether the material is for Nakuja project or it's for the workshop.
Okay. Well, yeah. So the best way is to confirm the technicians of workshop.
Okay.
Or yeah, because my question was that the nozzle initial design was using aluminum.
For the material, for the nozzle.
Yeah, as a material of the nozzle.
No, it was still mild steel.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. All right. And yeah, if we are allowed to use the mild steel block in the workshop, it's much better. But if not, we shall purchase the same one from Ken's Metal or any other supplier.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much. And wow, I have noticed. So at the day of the launch, we are going to carry 20 grains, which is very, very high kind of quantity. But yeah, we shall prepare. And for the next static test, when do you expect and how much do you target? How much grains are you going to test at the same time?
For the next static test, we hope if we are able to do the load cell procurement this week, we can have it done from the week starting on the 16th, either Monday or Tuesday, 16th or 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be using 4 grains.
Okay.
And we also wanted to request whether we can get more ESPs to make additional ignition circuits. As per the requirements, I think we'll need to have 5 ignition circuits for each rocket separately.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that is very possible.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm wondering, my concern is this ESP. This is sometimes this causes a trouble. Sometimes it becomes unfunctional, broken. But do you think ESP is just good?
So far, the one that we used was working well, but it has some problems right now. It has some minor damages. Maybe we can have a group discussion and consider any other we can use in the place of ESP.
Okay, so
And yeah.
Okay, so you are using the wireless communication of the ESP.
Yes.
I see. Yeah, in that case, ESP is reasonable. But okay, maybe we can, we can have a system that, for example, ESP is fragile, so sometimes it's broken, it gets damaged. So in that case, we want to easily remove the ESP from the ignition circuit and replace it with a new one. So maybe you can use a pin header or kind of a pin socket so that we can place the ESP on top of it. And once it's damaged, we will just replace it. So we don't directly solder the ESP to the circuit. Instead of that, we are going to use a socket or, the pin socket. Do you understand?
Yes. I do understand. So far, we haven't soldered the ESPs on the board. They've just, the minor damages I'm referring to is the power plug has come out. The pin for the power plug has come out. That speaks to the fragility you're speaking of. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Then what else? Oh, the boring tools. So you have obtained a boring tool. So are you already using it?
Not yet. We started with working on the nozzle since that is what we saw was a bit urgent. But we'll start working on the 4 grains casings. The 2, especially for the aluminium, are the ones we'll be using the boring tool on. The one is already complete, so it's just the one that was over 90% complete.
Okay.
That is what we'll be using the boring tool on.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Also, it's casing. Okay, thank you very much. And do you have any shortage in terms of the material like sorbitol, potassium nitrate?
We have one remaining 500 grams of potassium nitrate. We were hoping to come for some from your office from tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's noted. Okay, thank you very much, Nefat. Do you have any questions to propulsion team or Nefat? It seems no. Thank you, Nefat. So let's move on to recovery team. June, could you report the progress?
So good evening, all. I hope you're all well.
Good evening.
I hope you can all hear me. So for this week, first, I think I'd like to first give an apology. Most of us were held up with the SRI and also Dojo, so we didn't make a lot of progress. But what we did was we had several meetings. So first was a meeting with Bob, where we were able to lay down the structure for how what he requires from us, especially within power distribution, and also how we're going to integrate his schematics and his code into the current PCB. So that was able to be done. And as a result, we started with the final designs for the PCB. They will be completed by Wednesday. Kisaka and Victoria are the ones who are handling it. So we're hoping to finish up with those designs and do the first rudimental testing before hopefully sending them for printing and assembly next week under the direction of Dr. Aoki. And then I think we mentioned last week that we needed to do some 3D printing before we did the first ejection test. However, Eric was the one who was mostly involved with it, experienced some issues with the 3D printer where some of the concentric columns were not bounded to each other. So, and also what's the name for this thing? The infill of the print did not touch the perimeter of the wall, so he had a bit of issues with it. The progress was sent to the Discord channel. The problem itself was sent to the Discord channel. So he's currently consulting with Samil, and also I'm not quite sure if he's been able to reach out to Mohammed, but he mentioned that he'd also reach out to Mohammed to be able to help him and hopefully do the second tests of printing this week. So that the problem was experienced on Thursday and Friday. He tried printing it at iPeak. So he said that once he's consulted with Samil and perhaps also with Mohammed, then the next course of action would be to move the 3D printing to ELB and see if the problem would be resolved, or see if the problem was with the settings of the printers. So that is still pending. We're starting to cook Crimson tomorrow in preparation for the test. So we'll be able to give better feedback on Wednesday once we've been able to sort out the issue with the 3D printer and also cooked our Crimson in preparation for the tests. So I think that's it from us.
Okay, thank you very much, June. About the 3D printing issue, so this one is a new issue, so which you have never been faced.
Eric has not faced it. I've also not faced it. So yes, it's relatively new to us.
Okay. And it is good that Mohammed Hashir and Samir is helping. They are helping the recovery team. So I hope it will be resolved. All right. Yeah, I think maybe another issue is the timeline of the assembling. Let me check the remaining tasks. So we are going to order the PCBs.
Yes.
And yes, let me check what is very important. Yeah, I think if you can complete the design by mid this week, in coming week, we are good to go. Okay, maybe you can explain, because we have, okay, basically, okay, we have two PCBs, right? Ejection and flight controller, flight computer. Yes, because we are going to merge the flight control system onto our flight computer. So this is flight computer. Flight computer PCB. Ejection PCB. flight computer PCB. So when you are talking about the finalizing the design, so you are finalizing both of them.
Yes.
All right. This is noted. So FC PCB. Okay. And under recovery teams, there are many software issues that must be solved, like Kalman filter, error handling, approach detection. Any progress, or maybe you have been held up with the other activities?
I think we had not really sat to talk about the software issue, so maybe we're having a meeting tomorrow with the team. So once we finalize on and also set down who is going to be doing what, we can report that on Wednesday. But it is well noted that we also have to finish up with the software issues.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, so maybe, yeah, just a comment. So yeah, I think you are going to accelerate the activity this week. So the finalizing the design of the PCB is one of the prioritized issues. And also toward the ejection testing, I think, making the parts like you are rehabilitating or remanufacturing the broken parts, like this one, the piston holder, whatever has been damaged. So yeah, this is also high prioritized issue. So that is good. You are working on those two issues. And also, well, maybe let me ask you, because this software issue cannot be solved by one person. So did you already allocate each tasks to someone who can be in charge?
Yes, we already have. So for each key issue, we're having a minimum of 2 people working on them. So for instance, parachute ejection is primarily being worked on by Eric, Samuel from mechatronics, and also with the help of Julius, the new member. And then for the flight software, it's primarily Kisaka, Samson, Victoria, and I. And then the base station, Barbara and Ruth are also working on it. So at every point in time, we at least have 2 people who are working on each of the key issues.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is not only for recovery team, but ideally we want to track all the tasks on the GitHub projects or GitHub issues. So I have created this new repository that seems not to be used so much. So if you want to still use N2, or sorry, N3 internship, just a moment. We can still use it, or internship 2023. I think there are many issues which is still open. And if it is comfortable for you to continue to use this one, I think it's okay. But ideally, I want to track the development by the team. So kindly utilize the GitHub projects or GitHub issues so that to visualize who is doing what at the moment. So is it possible, John?
Yes, that is possible. We'll be able to assign to each of the tasks and the current issues and track.
Yes, please.
We'll do that.
Yes, yes. So I think yeah, you can use anywhere, but please let me know where you are tracking the development.
Okay. I think we'll just use GitHub as our primary channel.
Yes. So yeah, I meant the code, because there are many repositories, and if you are working on right computer,
Okay.
right software, and 3, for example. Yeah, so it's up to you. You can use the repository I have created. You can use the repositories, internship, or flight software. So, but let's integrate all the information into one repository so that we can track. Is it okay? Yeah, good.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I think we are going to organize a kind of checking, like kind of a midterm or midpoint checking of the progress, so that everybody can understand what is going on in the other teams, so that we don't forget any whatever task, you know. So yeah, we shall do it maybe in the week of 16th, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, I will announce the date, so that we shall bring the progress or any materials, then share our progress. Yeah, I think that's all for now. Thank you very much, June. Does anybody have any other information? Dr. Mushiri, welcome. Do you have something to announce? I think it seems you are not connected to the audio. Yeah, Dr. Mushiri, if you have something, please go ahead. But if not, anybody have any other business, A or B? No, Paul, yeah, please go ahead.
Good afternoon or good evening.
Good evening.
Mine is to do with liquid. I know we've been a lot hasn't been going on, but I'll be taking charge of the activities from now on. So
right.
I had left the PCB designing ongoing, and there was the question on the accumulator, of which okay, after doing some further research and with the considerations we had decided on in the past, I was thinking of using it to provide. So instead of designing the whole accumulator, we just use it and deliver a pulse. So like the ignition will be for a very short duration, or for as long as that pulse can provide the amount of flow rate required during the ignition. Other than that, those are the only 2 tasks which I had left going on, together with the design of the supports, of which after reviewing the designs which Owen and Obed had presented, I thought it would be a good idea to go with the one which we had gone with the first time, the one which was using the stacks of metal sheets to support the engine itself, due to the simplicity of design and reduced fabrication time and cost, because it can also use the leftover material by Airframe and the other teams. But yeah, from this week, I'll be the one taking charge of those activities.
Good. Thank you very much, Paul. Yes. Yeah, thank you very much for your update. And that is good. You are now leading the team because there are many students currently working on this liquid propulsion test stand. Yes. Yeah, regarding, okay, I think for some reason, there is a time limit for this meeting, so we don't have much to say, but I think from the next meeting, I think we are going to revert back to the ordinary setting where we don't have time limit. But Paul, thank you very much for your report.
Welcome. I will do my best.
Yeah, thank you very much. Anybody, do you have any final comments? Okay, it seems there is no comment. So thank you very much for your participation. And yeah, I also have been occupied for the robotics things last week, but we shall accelerate the activity toward the launch of N3. So once again, thank you very much for your participation, and we shall close the meeting at this juncture. So have a nice evening.
You too, sir.
Thank you.
You too.
Same to you.